Here's the white pill, guys. Young people are rapidly becoming anti-Israel. On the left,
And this guy is so happy about young people turning against Israel. He is. Because even though he doesn't know it, is what he serves with that, because he goes on to say that that means now that the baby boomers are dying, we'll have more people against Israel. So that's predicted in the Bible, which is why America has stood by Israel. And you can make all the stupid comments you want, but you should sometimes listen to those that know what they're talking about. So, the fact of the matter is that that is what the perfect trick, as I've been saying for over 4 years now, the devil uses. Is the best way to get God to turn his back on this country is get enough people to turn against Israel. I've said before, there's a reason we didn't want to be like the barbaric countries in the Middle East that just think it, or like Europe that thinks, let's just annihilate a bunch of people and make a bunch of excuses. And then the people we'll highlight are the people that will go after Israel, okay? That's the reason Rogan has his millions of followers. This is the useful tool he was meant to be. So is Dave Smith. So is this one that I'm stitching. I don't know who he is, but he's all giddy because the boomers are dying off. So we'll have most of America against Israel, and then they lose all their power. The problem this another just useful idiot has is the fact that Israel does not control the world. No, it doesn't. Okay. But this is predicted in the Bible that every nation will come against Israel. And because of that, it's why I said in my last video to recognize the times that you're in, because they do have a ton, because of the universities and the neo-Nazi networks like Candace Owens, Ian Carroll. I mean, I won't get any. I'm going to continue to be shadow banned because they serve the wicked one. That's why they have millions of followers. Can people not recognize that? That's the reason. Okay? That is the reason they have their followers. It is not because they're doing a service. No, they are meant at some, again, Joe Rogan has spent a long time pulling people in, okay? Especially him. But all of them, this is the agenda they serve. They're no different than, they're the same as the Hollywood people, okay? So they serve the agenda of pushing the propaganda. So once you get enough Americans that turn their back on Israel, then that would mean all nations against Israel, because most nations are against Israel. So that's when God intervenes, because God says, no, well, I'm going to really, lay judgment down. So I keep trying to tell people, recognize the times you're in. Do not be on that road. It is an easy trap to fall into. I mean, because again, I see people that I didn't follow Q, but Q had said Israel is for last. But then people have twisted that and said that Israel is last for destruction. But Q didn't say for destruction. It just said Israel's for last. And Q said this was biblical, right? Okay, so again, I didn't follow it. I'm just saying that's how much people have twisted that Israel for No, Q never. I looked it up on the website that has all the Q posts. You can search Israel. Never did it say that Israel's for set for destruction. But that's what the propagandists will tell you. Most people will follow that path again because God said they're going to the wrong gate. Rogan, Candace Owens, Dave Smith, Ian Carroll, a bunch of the useless, mindless propagandists are helping to take millions of people to the wrong gate. And it says in Revelations it's important to go to the right gate. Now, that said, God is not going to turn his back on America because of the fact that, it's not in the Bible. The letter to the Church of Philadelphia, as I keep bringing up, was meant for America. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania was named Philadelphia after the church in Asia Minor. Okay, so even though John thought again that letter was for that church, no, it was meant for America. It's the only thing that makes sense because God protects that it's really talking about a nation, the church. The nation. Okay, so God is going to protect America. God sees what all of these useful idiots are doing, okay? And what they don't even know the destruction that they are just digging their own holes. Because they don't know the Bible, and that's part of the danger when you don't know the Bible. But this is predicted that all the nations will turn against Israel to where God has to step in. Now, there will be a ton of people like myself that are not going to turn on Israel, that will keep speaking up against the neo-Nazi networks and all the countries that are just barbaric, okay? These people do not care about Palestinians. I mean, for Dave Smith, talk about a moron, really, just a total moron, to act like that people have selective empathy. No, he's the one that has selective empathy. So does Rogan. So I would say they don't even have empathy. But that what they are accusing Douglas Murray of and other people of is what they have. Nobody has ever cared about, nobody gave a shit about Hamas cutting the heads off of those children. And you didn't see those pictures. Do you know why? Because no people would be able to handle that. But yet they show all this propaganda photo, which tells you that all the propaganda people are falling into. But the Muslim Brotherhood and these terrorist organizations have done this my entire adult life. This propaganda, I've seen it. They go too far. Like, that's what kills me about it, is that people are being pulled into it and you can't see how over the top it is. Like, it's too far. Are innocent civilians, do they get killed? They do, but that's because of Hamas. What's amazing is Dave Smith, Rogan, Candace Owens, the neo-Nazi networks, okay? They don't, has any of them once said anything about the Palestinians rising up against Hamas? No. See, here's my argument, is that Rogan, Dave Smith, all these people that claim they care about the Palestinians, they're the people that put them in the most danger. They do. Because they don't speak the truth. They put them in the most danger. Because, see, what happens is Hamas kills anybody that comes out against them. They don't care about the Palestinians. None of these terrorist organizations ever have. Most of the Middle East doesn't even care about them either. Okay? But the fact is that they've been rising up in the hundreds of thousands of people coming out, going after Hamas. So, see, then that makes Rogan look like a fool. So then the Muslim, or the Hamas, they're all the same terrorist organizations, but then Hamas has to kill them, because then it might tell the American people, wait a minute. They're not going after Israel, they're going after Hamas. Yeah, so Joe Rogan isn't going to want to look like an idiot, even though he is, okay? They end up getting them killed, yeah, because they won't report the truth. So for Dave Smith or any of these people to act like they care about the Palestinians is just bullshit. They don't care about anybody. And who they hate the most, other than Israel, is America, because they hate that America stands with Israel. It's too bad they could never really understand that biblically. But again, most of them are either fake Christians or they're atheists. Either way, not very smart people.